So, to anyone who is checking out this video here, separate from the video that is the actual stream, I'm now recording this for posterity. Welcome to the extension, the extended version that YouTube won't let you see. As we are recording the last 6 episodes of the day. This is day 2 of our of our season 2 to season 3 Mighty Votin Power Charity live stream.
6 episodes, please. We still got like an hour and a half to go, huh?
I know. So this is to make sure that this gets saved. Because right now the way that it's structured is, although the live stream will keep going, YouTube will not archive. In another 10 minutes, it won't archive past that point. It has a hard limit at 11 hours and 55 minutes for whatever reason.
Come on, YouTube.
And I didn't know that.
So we lost the last hour of last night.
Yeah, so the last hour of last night is lost to the agents. Like, if you were here for it, you were here in a moment in time that will not be returned. So I'm trying to make sure we don't lose these moments in time by recording directly from the camera with what I can fit onto the SD cards. Because this is several hours.
Are you gonna count us down, or how are we doing this? Yeah, he'll let us know.
Yeah, like, we are still going to keep on going. Don't worry, we're still going to keep going. This is for posterity that I'm making mention that is being recorded on the camera now. The camera that's been pointed at me the whole time, I just now hit the record button on it. So now it'll save these last, like, 2 hours worth.
Come on, Billy, give us some good news. I wish I could. I mean, we're talking about command center's power core. I don't even know how to do it.
Let it be noted that not even Zordon knows exactly where these powers come from.
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy.
How far into the episode are you? Yeah, did we start? What's going on?
Oh, sorry. We are rolling right through. I'm sorry, there. We are at the 3-minute mark. I'm sorry. We are 3 minutes into Ninja Quest Part 2. They are checking out the destroyed command center.
What's on the screen?
What's on the screen? We have Billy looking up at Zordon. They are in the command center. Zordon is telling how the
Zordon the command center here.
how it was there's the myth of the power coins. It's like, hey, there's a map that goes with those. Here comes the map. There we go. That's where we are.
Maybe it does exist. Maybe we can find the temple.
By the way, there was Tommy almost on cue saying even if they have a slight chance, they're going to keep fighting.
Here we go.
Now, what did I do here? Did I hit the wrong thing?
There's even a slightest chance the temple exists. You have to take it. There's even a slightest chance of victory. We have to take it. That attitude is what is driving me right now. Absolutely 100%. Right now, there's a real chance that we may have already lost. We don't know. Like, it's possible that democracy is too thoroughly eroded. It might be a chance that the climate change measures, that we're too far gone to reverse the damage. It's absolutely possible we may have already lost. But there's a chance that we haven't yet. So long as we all work together. What was that? Sorry.
I said, seizure warning.
Yes. Oh, the flashing, yes. It started just after I asked what it was, and then it was, yeah, now I see. So yeah, this is our chance. If not now, there may not be another chance. We're basically hitting that point of no return, where if we do not all stand together as we go into this election, many of you have already voted, many of you are voting now, many of you are calling to get people to vote, and that is great. We all need to engage, we all need to recognize the threat we're facing, we all need to take that action. To save the world. Because we still have a chance to do it. We have the small chance that we can take, and that chance gets better the more we work together.
Yes.
So,
that sign looks kind of badly put together.
what was that?
That police academy sign? Let's just throw a banner over the actual city that's written on it, it'll be fine.
We cannot succumb to the desert of despair. Isn't that right, Ollie? Ollie knows what's up.
Is that like...
I love that
despair?
Billy
Untouched snow!
is the one with the least amount of clothes on.
It's a warm day.
Sure.
You didn't get it, did you?
Oh, I got it. There we go. Oh, we're gonna get the Vulcan skull getting shaped during this saga. Oh, I love the Vulcan skull getting shaped.
The Vulcan skull getting shaped?
It's a song.
A Vulcan skull getting shaped.
They gotta put that song on the soundtrack.
I thought Great to Be Human was the first song. Excuse me.
Okay. They want to get girls, and they want to protect the girls.
Oh, folks, that luxurious ponytail.
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing, like this is an unintentional commentary on kind of how things work, where it's like people do get into policing for the wrong reasons, and then are just encouraged to superficially make sure that they're at least presenting as if it's the right reasons. And then it's okay. And that's a little rough.
Oh, these people are owning in super speed.
Those jogging guys just keep jogging straight to people, and they're realizing there's all the exercise. So much exercise. They're just freaking out over the push-ups and everything. It's amazing.
Incredible edible egg.
Yep. Hulk is just committed to this bit now. He doesn't want to do it either, but he's committed to it now.
And remember, these are tangas, not tangoos.
Yes, we had the Tangoos. Time for the Tangas. ACAB, all cops are bald. Really, Scott?
Well, the difference, as was pointed out when we were watching the movie earlier, is that in the movie there were 10 of them, and they were made of goo.
Yes. Yeah, I love the Tangas. Bulk. No. Dead.
Oh, she doesn't even know. And tangas.
It's like he just slipped into the dynamics of this cast so well. It just completely. This is the moment where everything just gelled for the villains. After we brought in Zed, the dynamic of the villains kind of got out of balance. We lost a purpose for Squat and Babu. Finster just got pushed entirely out of the show for like 40 episodes. And then when we got Rita back in, that added a fun dynamic to the Zed and Goldar dynamic. That was the only one we really had for the most part of season 2. So bringing back Rita added some fun here, but now we've got Rito in there, and now it's fully gelled, and it's great. I love it. Also, I love that that Earth that they're all staring at is literally a painting that's like 6 feet away from them. You look at it from an angle and the Earth foreshortens. New song. Here we go. Nice. I like they got to keep these costumes. They're great costumes. Happy birthday in the sky.
Although I will forewarn you, Jake, if you break these out in Heroes of the Grid, be careful because they are annoying as all hell, as my friend Jeff will attest to with me.
I don't have Tangos actually in my Heroes of the Grid. I don't have like the Morphin Master set. I've got all the exclusives from the initial Kickstarter, but I didn't get all the expansion packs, so I don't have Tangos in my set. Just putties and super putties.
Oh, so you didn't get the Green with Evil and the White Light?
No, I didn't get those. I didn't go crazy.
I I thought they all came in the Goldar box. I thought it was just preset what was in that box.
Fair enough. Those American suits look really bad.
The Goldar box had like Wizard of Deception.
The Goldar box was just the expansion box for whatever additional thing. It was the box itself was one of the rewards, one of the exclusive rewards.
No, I know that. I just didn't realize. I didn't realize they could put less stuff in it.
Yeah, and they did. Like, what I have room for in the Goldar box is the original set plus the exclusives that I got. Still in their plastics.
Because in my case, I have the original set, and then my Goldar box has that stuff plus the white, light, and green with evil were in there because I bought the whole freaking Kickstarter set, so everything is in that box.
Yeah. I've still got to get that Allies pack is what I got to get. I got to get me some Phantom
Yes,
Rangers.
the Allies pack is good.
I am obligated to get that pack.
with
I
that.
haven't yet, but I need it.
Yeah. Although I will forewarn you, Phantom Ranger in a two-player mode, not nearly as useful.
Oh, really?
Unfortunately.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you're playing with the each player controlling two Rangers with a combined deck situation, Phantom Ranger becomes a little bit less useful because his ability to move in and out of the fight is not helpful if him moving out of the fight ends the fight because no one is there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Sean. There was someone else talking.
Does Phantom Ranger have loner abilities like Tommy? Is that why?
I was making another dumb joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's. I know you can't hear the Skype people. So what were you saying? What was your dumb joke there? I wanted to hear it.
Meanwhile, the Rangers realized Zordon teleported them like 5 miles away from the command center.
Oh yeah, exactly. There we go. And now, Gold Phoenix Ranger, you were telling me about the Phantom abilities for Heroes of the Grid.
MJ, Phantom Ranger's ability is basically the ability to go invisible and kind of disappear and go to his character card and then pop back in the middle of any given battle. But that's not helpful if in a two-player mode there's only one quote-unquote player in because his other character that's with him will move together and you would end the fight by leaving the fight. So the ability becomes useless if you're not with the other player.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Man, I really want to explore that. It's so interesting. Oh yeah, this fire is crazy.
That is some dangerous fire. No, the map!
The map! Now they gotta hold back Billy.
I'll dive in the fire and get it.
Each episode, we get somebody else who needs to be held back. Hold me back. Hold me back. Who's gonna get who do we have to hold back next time?
Well, from what I can recall from the map, we'll know when we see it.
Oh, the grounding Asia.
Quicksand.
This was so crazy because they had to dig that hole in order to put her in that. You realize?
Yeah. Form a human chain.
Do the Rangers practice linking themselves together?
They're not doing great with it.
Not this group of Rangers, but if you think back to the early episodes, like around High Five, they used to do this human link thing where they spun around and kicked dudes in the face. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, the human chain from episode 3 is amazing. Because they call it a human chain to distract you from the fact that it's actually a human propeller. It's a genius tactical move. But yeah, Pocky, you are absolutely correct. Yeeting himself into danger is very much a Season 3 Billy move.
I think that's the rock formation we're looking for.
Is it the Vasquez Rock formation?
If I'm right.
Everything happens at Vasquez Rocks.
Everything happens at Vasquez Rocks.
Everything happens at Vasquez Rocks.
Right.
Just further adding to the idea that Zordon teleported them like 2 miles.
Exactly. Because we see Vasquez Rocks all the time. Like they get there and then they get to the other side of Vasquez Rocks and it's like, what? You were right there the whole time. You sent us to basically your parking lot, sir. Why? What? No.
It's the only thing that remotely resembles the formation. Maybe Zordon was right. Maybe the temple is a myth.
Tenga time. Alright, so let's see how far off we are now. So, right now for tomorrow, like I said, we've got about 5 episodes lined up. So we have Fourth Down and Long, straight through the Potion Notion lined up. we get another $9. That'll push us through to I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger. So we are $9 away from a very Merry Christmas. And if we can keep things rolling, like, I think we all want to hear more from Mark Litton and about, you know, the origin, you know, the introduction of Master Vile. So we've still got plenty of work left to do. I think we can do it. Oh, look at those birds go at it. They are on them like seagulls on a hot dog. There we go, crevice.
What do you know about seagulls on a hot dog?
Thwarted by not being able to turn to the side.
Yes. We don't have turn to the side technology. We're just birds. We don't have your human brains.
What by visiting
Straight line.
They don't really need to turn to the side. They could just, you know, fly over the rocks.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd think so. But that's a big brain thinking. That's not a bird brain thinking.
Small, smooth, stinky brain.
We should probably call this off again.
Jennifer Nguyen just added another $10 so we can make it to Christmas. Yay!
Sweet.
That gets us to I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger. Just like the one who's too OP.
Which he totally is.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
By the way, quick heads up to people in the chat. If you do use any sort of bleepable language in any respect, it does get kind of auto-moderated. Just giving you that heads up if you're wondering why any messages that are mild in their language might not be going through. I do try to keep this very much a PG chat and a PG stream. Normally we do the bleeping and the swear jar, but however, obviously we're doing this live, so we're limited in that respect. There we go. Yes, you gotta plant that vampirus egg so that we can have a part 4 to this saga. People forget that there's a 4th part to Ninja Quest, apparently, because the 4th part is basically just an extra adventure with the vampires to get Ninjor into the mix.
Looks like the end of the road, guys.
Really?
It's a dead end.
It's obviously a dead end. We're not gonna get... Now, what would have happened to Tommy if that hadn't been a false wall? That's what I want to know. Was he just going to walk straight into a rock wall and just smash his head into a rock wall?
Let's do it.
He was just so frustrated. It's just like, I'm sick of this. Boom! I feel better now. I feel like a leader. I'm going to take a nap. And then that was what would happen.
That kind of, you might have...
Boom, 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 da-dum. So that is the end of part 2. We get to see some tangas flapping around.
The thingy.
What's that?
Update the dinghy.
We gotta update the thingy. Because we are about to start playing part 3 in just a moment. As we wrap up these credits, I do so love the random little outtakes and whatnot for the credits.
They are fun.
It's crazy to me that we're getting these now, because I forgot that we were at that point now. So here comes part 3. The end credits are over. It's got a quick little 20-second little lead as it counts down. It's going to skip over the opening credits, so in about another 15 seconds, you guys can sync it back up again with 1 minute in to Ninja Quest Part 3. That will be right after right after the opening credits. So in another second, there's the little quick countdown, bump, 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 and we're gonna hear the last bit of that chord to close out the opening credits. And we are in there. We are 1 minute and 5 seconds into Ninja Quest, Part 3.
Alright.
And we are at a lovely location here. I love that waterfall. I want to go there.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Yes.
I want to go there.
Indeed. By the way, Jake, I don't know if it was intentional, but you're not on video in the Skype call anymore.
Oh, I can fix that. Because I know that I've got Sean on the phone, but I can still be seeing you guys on Skype. I think I left my...
You don't have to. It's whatever you're comfortable with. I'm just letting you know in case it was an accident you wanted to be on video.
Oh, okay. Alright, so... Oh, apparently I'm having an issue with my network connection, maybe? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, in regards to Tommy walking into the rock wall, I had a math teacher in high school who, when he got frustrated with us, would bang his head against the wall because it felt good when he stopped.
Fair enough. That's interesting. Why is that doing that? I don't know what's happening with the video on the Skype call right now. It's acting like there's an extra person in there than there is, and I don't know why.
It's all good. I don't know, there's technically, including you, 4 of us in here right now, so...
Oh, okay, maybe that's what that extra person was. Maybe it was reading me as an extra person in a corner for some reason.
That voice.
Those dulcet tones!
Yeah, how did this get a voice? I want to know what the casting process was like for
Ninja.
Right?
Oh, Kim Strauss. Oh, you speak to me.
Why don't you come out of your little hiding spot and tell us where we can find Ninja?
I'm so angry.
I love Ninjor so much. She is being rather rude at the moment. Ninjor, I love you so much. Ninjor and Rito are the stars of Season 3, and I love them so much.
Our leader Zora sent us on a quest for new powers and swords. Lord said destroy the old ones.
I love that. He's got no context for Power Rangers. He's been in a jar for like 10,000 years.
Yes. Also, disproves the earlier theory of just name-dropping somebody solves your problem.
This is true. They're so used to it. I mean, you guys, to be fair, just burst into his house and started calling him a twerp. Like, you can't really blame him for not wanting to help you.
But we do. We still have the power within ourselves.
Yes.
What's right and true.
Yes. Power within yourselves, knowledge of what's right and true. That is what we all have, and we should all be engaging in right now.
Yes.
Right now, we are, as I have said before, in danger of fascism dooming the world through the climate change crisis. That's where we're at, in very frank terms, and this is our best way of fighting it, by working together. Truth, honor, justice. Let's get it. Let's vote. Let's help others vote. There's always people tearing others down, and it's not enough to just not be those people. We need to be the people building others up. It's the only way to have that net gain. Otherwise, it just keeps coming down. So if we're not all building each other up, then the people tearing things down win. And I love that wanted poster of Rita Repulsa and the Putty Watch, and everything is great. Yes, I'm so, like, all over the place this stream. It's like, important, meaningful commentary on the state of our world and our planet as we know it, and electoral importance, etc., etc. Oh, yes, there is a cartoon drawing of a children's television villain, and I love it. Lieutenant Stone, the only, like, a man who knew to leave the police force when he felt that he was not operating in proper circumstances.
Precisely.
Like, oddly enough, I do feel like, as much Guys, why are you jogging through the office? This is not the place for this.
And there's the.
What are you doing? Kyle, Sloan, get out of here. Terry, what are you doing? Come on.
Getting a little bit of that AC.
But I feel like Bulk and Skull really actually played a huge part in Detective Stone's character development.
By the way, hey Jake.
Yes.
Oh no, here it
Did
comes.
you just happen to notice that the names of the joggers' T-shirts are the producers?
Sorry, that ponytail, both sides.
Oh man, you're right.
Flynn, so on.
You're right. Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. Oh man, those luscious locks.
Oh no.
These aren't going anywhere, people. This is not going anywhere. I'm just saying, this ponytail here, this ain't going anywhere. Don't worry about it. Like, yeah, I'll trim the ponytail, but this hair. Oh, Paulie. Oh. They're doing this live, too. They're just... Skull is working that undercut, though.
They're just time-lapsing this.
Okay. Truth be told, the one time that my dad convinced me to get a crew cut when I was like 12, I basically had this same reaction. This was awful to me. Oh man, that face. And you know what? Skull had a beautiful mane going on there.
He did.
They're not paid. Oh my god. It's crazy that we're... And that is a very clean cut, I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
But that's just like... so completely changes their look now.
I thought I asked you a question, by the way. Has Lieutenant Stone ever come to, like, Morphicon or anything? Because if not, he should.
We have not managed to track down Greg Bullock. We all would love to. We don't know what he's been up to. That
Both
scene...
got the short shrift there.
He did not get as good a haircut as Skull, it's true.
Not at all.
But I'm not going to lie.
They gave Nervy a nice flat top, a little extra length on top, but
Yeah.
they just shaved poor Polly.
But, like, I got a haircut that was not even quite as short as Skull's when I was, like, 12. And I hated it. I'm not ashamed to say that haircut made me cry as a 12-year-old. And I've never gotten my hair cut that short again. Obviously, I have the much longer hair now, and I don't feel like I could find anywhere in the middle that would still work with my hairline.
You did have the sort of a floppy, non-ponytail length hair several times.
Yes. And yeah, no, I had just a regular, shorter haircut, but not a crew cut since I was 12.
Yeah, something like what they call boys regular.
Yeah, exactly. That was my standard haircut for a lot of years. The ponytail, I didn't really solidify as sort of my look until, like, maybe, like, 12 years ago, if that. After I graduated college, like, I was just kind of growing out my hair, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll get it cut when I get, like, a real, like, proper job.
And then by the time
And then that took till I was, like, 30. So I'm just like, well, I guess this is just what I look like now.
And everybody rolls with it, because you look good like that.
I like the ponytail look.
I love the ponytail on you, babe.
Yeah. While I've been discussing haircuts, we have been granted the powers of the ninja.
That's why Frankie's so interested in the TV right now.
There's a bug that flew onto the TV.
You gonna get that Fox Elder bug?
Oh, those ninja Zords.
Those are Zords.
Those are some great Zords there. And yeah, we do have those Ninjetti suits getting some use. And they do look great. Gotta love the Ninjetti
I
suits.
prefer the movie ones.
Here we go. Let's see if and it's interesting. They have different rationales, I believe, for how they choose. Learn from its wisdom and strength. So it's very similar.
Where did it go? Oh, there it is.
The Bear Ninja Zord. It's got might and cunning. That's not what it had in the movie. Like, it's interesting how it was just slightly different, the reasonings. So stealth and accuracy is the trait here
Sorry.
for the wolves. Now the crane, I think, is one of the best matches. The crane being Kimberly's. She has that grace, the whole
Kimberly
beauty
is
and
the
grace.
is the best.
Yeah. The frog is presented as
Adam,
wise in
you're
this
a
case.
fraud.
With silent courage.
Get back out of the house.
There are so many, like, random traits you could just pretty much apply to any animal, is what we're learning here. Oh, I'm sure if Pocky is still in the chat, you probably remember the old Peregrine fan fiction, The Two Wolves, which is a great deep dive. Alright, it's just a great deep dive into Billy's character and really explored that inner animal being the wolf concept.
There are 2 wolves inside of you.
Yeah, it played into that whole Native American story of the 2 wolves. Because
Which one wins?
Sam Trueheart was a character in that.
The one you feed.
Exactly. Yep, thank you. Nice. There we go. Love it. I love that I'm the frog, courageous in spirit. It's just like, I'm the frog, I participate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Voice
wonderful.
aside, I kind of like Ninja better than Dulcia, because I love that when they show up, he's just like, and that's my problem,
camera
pal.
again
Yeah.
after this, babe. So
What's that?
I'm not coming on camera again after I change my pajamas. So
To be yeah, but
I love you.
remember the counterpoint though. When the Rangers showed up on Phaedos, Dulcia beat
Yeah.
Tommy up and threw him on the ground before they were said Zoran, and she was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad."
Yeah, exactly. It's just a complete different thing. So many jumping jacks. I love how are they having Skull do those push-ups? How are you doing, Sean? I know I've been rambling on.
Your screen, dude, that's fine. We're watching these ninjas and these birds.
Gotta love the fighting action here. Oh, we got a funny beat. Think of that
Probably
noise.
the most colorful ninjas there ever were.
They do rank pretty up there in colorful ninjas. I mean, that being said, we did get a sparkly gold cowboy ninja not too long ago, so there's that.
I prefer not to be reminded of such things.
Let's be fair, though. The whole concept and design of Star Ninja is amazing. He has a burger morpher. The burger you gotta love you gotta respect the burger morpher.
It's creative, I'll give you that much.
Yeah.
what time will you get to tomorrow?
What time will I get to tomorrow? Well, right now we're looking at about 5 episodes so far for tomorrow. So those 5 episodes starting at 9 a.m.
Probably about 10 a.m., huh?
That would run till about a little past that. It would run to maybe about 10:30.
10:30. Just giving people an idea, because obviously there's always the possibility that things end tomorrow prematurely because people were not awake yet.
Yeah.
You don't want to work on getting yourself a nice buffer in the morning.
Yeah. So if you guys want to sleep in and only tune in once we start introducing good old Cat, then we're going to need to raise a few more funds. We have made a lot of great progress so far. We're $9. I think we already got the $10 for Christmas. So actually, no, correction. We've got 6 episodes for tomorrow because we got to Christmas. So if we want to, so we'll need another, let's see, $35 to get through the Ranger Catastrophe next. So that's a good thing to add to our list there. Also, I kind of love Tenga Bye Bye. It's a great song. Oh my goodness.
I really enjoy this fight scene,
Full
actually.
choreography
It's
for
a
all
great
this.
demonstration of
It's
their ninja
all
abilities.
animal form kung fu.
Ain't no stopping the bear.
Like, you know, if you look at Kimberly's stunters,
Meanwhile,
they
it's
actually
better.
strike a crane stance, which is an actual kung fu stance. So I kind of like that as martial arts.
Right. Yeah, the whole ninjetti aesthetic there, and the extra fights they get as those Ninja Ranger forms. There's a lot of creativity that we kind of needed added to these fights in order to make them keep popping. Season 1, we got a lot of unmorphed putty fights. Season 2, they got confident in the morphed putty fights. Season 3, they had to shake it up, so that we got these Ninja Tenga fights, and they're pretty great. It's only a matter of time. Everything is only a matter of time. It's always going to be, oh, that guy. Yeah, I was expecting that. Oh, yeah. It's about time. Oh, yeah, some more water would be great. Thank you. Gotta love Ninja Power. I feel like, I know I'm a teenager, but now I feel that now that I'm a ninja, I feel like I've got so much energy, like some kind of mutant turtle. It's great.
Hey, Rangers, show, don't tell. That kind of bugs me.
Yeah, I know.
These new powers feel amazing. Great. Why don't you show me?
To be pretty fair, though, the Ninja Ranger powers do have a lot of cool tricks.
Oh, yeah. I was
This should
saying,
get you through.
that was a great fight scene to show off their abilities.
Yeah. Actually, hon, could I have a glass of red juice?
Yes.
Thank
You
you.
want the juice or just the glass of red juice?
Just like a nice full glass would do it. Thank you.
So juice glass or
Like a good sized glass. I also like that they acknowledge that their coins are no longer connected. Let's go with that, the big one, yeah.
But your suits still look like dinosaurs because,
It's because that's what they've internalized their Power Ranger forms looking like. And that's why they don't use it's no longer connected to the animals, it's connected to just their Ranger powers. Hence, Blue Ranger power, Red Ranger power, etc. Which I think is a nice workaround to keep the suits.
Ninja was literally standing on top of the egg.
Yep.
You still have your coaster, right? The one I was using before?
Yes, thank you very much, hon.
The egg is a bomb.
Oh, and now the extended screaming. And they just cracking it up. I can't believe you broke the mirror. Alright, who's ready for part 4?
4!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Part 4.
Yeah.
The finale. Let us know when, Jake.
Okay, sounds good.
This thing.
And we are going to be queuing it up in just a moment. We'll be 1 minute in because we're skipping over the opening credits. Here we go. And we are 1 minute in now. Alright, I love you. Have a good night. 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 Alright, I love you. Have a good night This is amazing. Ninja Zord time. Here we go.
Good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow after work.
All right.
Tell her thanks.
Have a good night. Thank you.
I'd like to point out that these are the exact same poses they used to some of the Thunder Zords.
Yeah. They're used to them now. That's what they do.
Actually shell out the money to, record new footage, did you?
Well, they re-recorded the posing scene at least twice last season.
Like these are the we finally got these these poses now. We're not loose. We finally got these poses down now. We're not doing new ones. I do find it interesting how the ape Zord just doesn't look like an ape. It just looks like a person.
It's a person.
I gotta love that bladed tail there. The Ninja Zords were just so much more dynamic than the Thunder Zords in a lot of ways.
Frogs that bring fire?
Yeah. It was also, I also love that like the Zord that later becomes just an arm is currently the same size as Rito. Oh man.
Dang it, he's
Yeah.
blowing again.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that, Jen. The fact that that this was actually the later Zord set from Kaku Ranger is fascinating to me. And I think a large part of that was just because the animal motif better fit with Power Rangers, so they wanted to sort of segue into the more humanoid Zords with the Shogun Zords. And so they just flipped around the order, which I think was really interesting.
Listen up, men and women. You're about to enter the most difficult part of our training.
Oh, you will now be the new American Ninja Warriors.
I'm sure you'll find
That will be your ninja quest.
Root for Jesse Grab. I had to come back and get my pillow.
Okay, hon. Have a good night. Love you.
Good night, I love you.
That's a fight.
I love his like crazy like flamethrower arm thing.
By the way, I have a flamethrower.
Yep. I have a Rito figure in storage somewhere, and I do love the little launcher thing because it's got a little like it'll pump in and out if you hit the backpack. Here we go, Ninja Megazord time. Whoosh.
Nobody said anything. We all just decided to do that at the same time.
Yep. No, they all heard the music cue going, and they knew what had to happen.
Right. For some reason, it's always weird to me that the ape is an arm instead of the chest.
Yeah. It is unusual to have the Red Ranger not in that central position, but I like the change up. Aesthetically, it works for me. And of course, in Kaku Ranger, the White Ranger was a bit more of the leader than the Red Ranger was, in a number of respects. I love all that Ron Wasserman. It's great.
We can do this thing. Flamethrower, now jetpack.
Boom. Also, they needed to kick things off with a 6-Ranger team, so it made sense for them to get the Ninja Mega Falcon Zord right off the bat.
Right.
Oof. And the fight with Rito is also just a great intro fight. Because, you are showing things off, because you are fighting against a major villain.
Power Ranger, only enemy in Power Rangers ever defeated by the Rangers without them ever uttering a single word.
Very strange. It is an odd thing. But yeah, you look at it, there are so many little things where when you get more context into the way the world operates, that you start to see them in a different light. Like right now here, Lieutenant Stone is presenting a great deal of, you know, oh yes, there's the song. Here we go. It's 15 miles. Maze. Superman. Brave. Shape it up. Shape it up. Shape it up. Broken skull. Shape it up. Shape it up. Shape it up. Broken skull. Shape it up. Shape it up. Shape it up. Broken skull. Shape it up. Shape it up. Shape it up. Broken skull. I love this song. Poor Bulky. He's trying. He's just trying his best. But yeah, we are, again, $35 away from the next two-parter, which would be a Ranger Catastrophe, which would be delightful if we could get some Catherine Sutherland into this stream. Like, if anyone wants to try and get her aware of what's going on there. I don't know if anyone knows her on Twitter or anything, and let her know that if we're able to get another $35 in, we're gonna be introducing her episodes into the stream. So that'd be cool. I'm just looking for whichever ways we can do our best to keep raising awareness, keep raising funds for people to be better able to vote this year.
Theoretically, she'd probably be interested in something like this, because she and Nakia do this on their own YouTube channel, so...
That's true. So if anyone wants to message them in any way, obviously respectfully and not excessively or anything, just to let them know what's going on, and that we're coming up on hitting that goal, I think that would be great. I don't know if Shape It Up, Bulk Skull is anywhere available for anything outside of just that one montage.
Probably not.
But yeah, interesting things as far, like, Lieutenant Stone here is definitely presenting some sadism with the amount of joy he's taking out of his cadet's misery. And there are those tones of toxic masculinity there. Like, yeah, Bulk and Skull are being completely absurd and literally going against the tides. And there is a lot of frustration to be dealt with there. Oh, here we go. And it's straight. Making a mess. And you. It's all of us. There we go. Nice. But we do get a lot of growth out of Lieutenant Stone across the course of his time on the show. Why are you don't be in the cactuses? That's not where you should, you sillies. I keep getting onto, like, a point, and then I just love this montage so much. I can't even talk because I keep wanting to not interrupt it. Yeah. Oh wait, Sheree, did you just realize why we were showing things to Colby Strong? Why we were trying to show things to Colby Strong earlier? I mean, Lieutenant Stone kind of did become their best friend eventually, it's true. Like, they come from two, like, very distant places in terms of their personalities. and they sort of meet in the middle in a much healthier place as a result of it. Like, he develops a lot of empathy due to his relationship with Bulk and Skull. It changes who he is as a person, makes him, more sympathetic to people and more interested in being more engaged in helping his community outside of this sort of strongman approach to things. And I think that's great. It makes him a better person, a better, service to his community in a number of ways. Eventually becoming functionally the new Ernie. And that's a tremendous amount of emotional growth from this guy who's screaming at teenagers. Like, that's literally what he's doing, screaming at teenagers because they're not, surviving this thing that he gleefully admits is intensely difficult. You gotta save Ninjor, come on! You gotta go save Ninjor. Come on, do it. Everyone loves Ninjor, come on.
Both Ninjor and the temple are key elements to maintaining your powers. If either one falls into Lord Zed's hands, all will be lost.
Can't let that happen. Well, what should we do? It's Morphin time.
There we go. I do kind of like how they shifted, even though the cropping is not very good. I do kind of like how they covered up so you could only see the face and the hands and you can't see the tank tops like you could last time. So that way, they can just be wearing something else and it's not a weird break of continuity. This episode's really a showcase for the new Zords, and I do love that.
Also, I do have to know, based on what we were talking about earlier, this whole thing has happened, and yet somehow none of this was Zordon's worst fears.
None of this was Zordon's what?
None of this was Zordon's worst fears confirmed.
This is true. He said that eventually he was he was like, oh yeah, I figured this would happen eventually. So Rito was going to show up sooner or later. I wasn't really that scared of it, but yeah, we'll just deal with it. You'll get some new powers. Go out to the desert, wander around for a while, you'll find something good. Kids, I've been dealing with this nonsense from you for 2 years. Just go get some new powers on your own. I'm tired. I need a nap. Also, Ninjor is just handling himself so well here. It's great.
He really is.
And he's got his own little Nimbus, like DBZ, and it's great.
It's awesome.
I love his little cloud. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good.
Welcome to my playground, Ninjor. You still think you have what it takes to defeat me?
Okay. Yes. You cannot let the evil forces win, Ninjor. Evil makes me so angry! I love that. I love that evil makes me so angry. I relate to that. That is the mood of 2020. Ah, fantastic.
Hey, Jacob,
Yes.
I'm going to try to call you on Skype, okay?
Alright, give it a shot.
Does that work?
Yes, that'll be fine. Let's try it out, and that way we'll know when you're all together. So, let me see here. Let me try and see if I got your message. Did you just try to message me just now? Okay, I'm getting it. Is that the Gator one? Wait, I'll decline it for now so I can add you into everybody else. But I got you now. So now I have you in the contact, so I can add you to the call that exists right now. I know, it's awkward. So now we can address that. And I haven't been, like, intensely grilling you for questions like I did with, Mark Layton. Yes. Okay, so I'm adding you to Skype, which means I should hang up the phone with you so I'm not doing two things. Bye. There we go. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, we're all together. Look at that. Surprise, I'm visual. All right. We'll see how this works. Hear me okay? Yep, you're good. Can you hear him okay, Jake?
Yeah, I'm hearing you okay. I apparently don't have the best network connection at the moment, but it seems to be fine as far as me hearing you guys.
For real this time.
There we go. Welcome to the party proper.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Ninja is now in alliance with us. From this day forward, he will answer your call for guidance and help.
The power of ninja. I love the power of ninja is apparently Dudley Do Right. It's the power of ninja.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of our families and friends attending today's graduation ceremony.
You can never have too many friends that turn into giant robots.
It's true. You can never... We all need more friends that can turn into giant robots. And fewer enemies that can turn into giant robots. I'm just kind of stretching out my legs right now. Actually, now that I don't have the Phantom Armor next to me with balanced on a shovel, I can actually kind of stretch my legs a little bit. Yeah.
It's kind of a turning point for the Rangers' relationship with both Skulls.
Yeah, because they're genuinely proud of them. That's just cute. That's wrong face. That did not work right. Ouch. Everything. Why are you here right now? Why are you jogging through a ceremony? What is your malfunction, people?
That's just in on it at that point.
It's just so ridiculous. Oh man, we have now. I love this bit so much. It just keeps going. And there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Oh god, no. And then Narvi just goes again. There we go, there he goes. Narvi just clears that thing so well. Oh, there we go. He is so athletic. Man, Narvi's a quick dude. He's spry. Alright, are we ready for a brush with destiny? What? Oh, this isn't one where I look into, like, a deep, introspective episode that explores all the character backgrounds of my main cast for my web series or anything. A brush with destiny. Kicking off in 3, 2, 1, skipping the opening credits. We'll be starting 1 minute and about a second in. There we go. Title is on screen. A Brush with Destiny. Oh, wait. Netflix is daring to cast aspersions upon me. Netflix is judging me. They're judging me right now. They ask, are you still watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
How dare you,
Netflix. You dare to judge me? You are a service. to us here, providing us with our... You are to dance or our entertainment, Netflix. That is your purpose. You dare to ask me, am I still what? Do you know who I am? Good sir. Good sir. Good sir. I am Database Ranger. You do not ask, are you still watching Mighty Morphin? I tell you when I am done. I am not done yet here. People have paid for this. They wish to be entertained. I ask you people, are you not entertained? Do you not want this to continue? Netflix, you will not bar our path to greatness. Are you still watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Yes. Yes, we are. We're going to kick off this episode. 1 minute, 5 seconds in. Alright, you're on the title? Okay, I'm about to hit play. The title just went away. Are you still watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? I'm going to continue watching. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. We are in this. I feel like, I just ramp it up every time that I see that message. Yes.
So at the theme park I work at today, I was working at a stand where kids were painting pumpkins.
Yeah?
And I put this on my hand. You can see that?
Wait.
Thought it was relevant to the title.
Wait, I can't see your hand. Let me see if I can...
Right up the corner there. Little orange ranger helmet.
Oh, I'm not getting your video.
Hang on, let me turn mine off. Maybe it'll pop up for you.
Oh, there it is. I see it. I'll flip it back over so others can see it. That is great. Little Orange Ranger. I love it.
Little orange ranger helmet here.
There we go. That is
I
wonderful.
thought that was relevant to the title of the episode.
That is your brush with destiny. And we can see your face now. There you are.
There I am. See? Yep. Unfortunately, I interrupted Ken's emotional moving away moment.
I mean, if anyone wants to see me do a deep dive into this episode, they can always watch episode 87 of Power Reviews. Here's actually a fascinating thing about this. This was not originally on my list for year 3. I wanted to do an episode for season 3, but my original thought was actually that I was going to do the potion notion. I wanted to do something that sort of delved into the character relationships on the ship. But as I was working through planning out year 3 and writing out year 3, I got up to episode 87, which also was going to be not even this episode. I had to shuffle a bunch of things around. Because I was going to do the potion notion for, like, episode, like, I think it was going to be 88, and then I was going to have 80, and then 87 I think was going to be, oh man, what is it? Friends Don't Fade from Jungle Fury. Those were 2 episodes that I was planning on covering in year 3. And then I realized that it wasn't working for what I was trying to write, as far as the story went. So I shuffled some episodes around, and I'm like, oh no, for Jungle Fury, instead I'm going to do, for 89, I'm going to do Path of the Righteous. And then I'm going to move Truth Discovered from Lightspeed Rescue up into a sooner spot with that for 88. And I'm like, but what do I want to do for 87 for Mighty Morphin Season 3? Because Potion Notion wasn't working with the direction the story was going. And so I just looked over Season 3. And this episode just fit shockingly well with the story I was going for with the Time Storm. And I wasn't expecting it to, because it's a very standard kind of episode in many regards. But the idea of worst nightmares coming true just blended so well. And I was able to tie it into everybody's backstories in a lot of regards, because dealing with that fear of the unknown and uncertainty while we were going through this mysterious time storm. So that's how this episode ended up being a part of Power Reviews Year 3, when it wasn't going to be. I also just wanted to make sure that it was an episode that showcased Ninjor and Rito, because they're really stars of Season 3, and I didn't want to leave them out. So I kind of narrowed it down also by which episodes had Ninjor. So, whole thing with, like, story reasons, loving Ninjor reasons. Sorry, Sean, you were saying?
You will note here that ninja powers do not help you with insomnia.
This is fair. You gotta watch out. Oh, and that bit where her communicator gets knocked off.
Knocked off through her ninja suit, okay?
Which is just so ridiculous. Oh, poor Kim. Oh no, the artist mole.
Now reminds me of that Beast Morpher's monster, the Kelvin boy.
Oh yeah, with Kelson as oh, it was the what was it, Keytron?
I don't know if he voiced the monster, but he was like a fake artist.
Yeah, I remember he did the French artist, but I believe it was either Keytron or Locktron, I forget which it was. Now
I did not realize that was Kelson. How did I miss that?
Yeah, well, he had the black wig and the sunglasses and the big artist beret and everything.
And a really silly French accent like an
Oh. I mean, we had a silly French French artist earlier today, and it was like, you must draw the Power Ranger picturoonies, de la cookies. The improvisation of these two is just outstanding, always.
Angle shot there.
I can guess it was Keytron.
It was Keytron. Okay. Couldn't remember if it was Keytron or Locktron. Thank you. Oh, and I love that Billy's mind just goes straight to, and Billy and Adam just go straight to, I think Rita and Zed are behind it, because they're behind every weird missing thing in their lives, always. Yeah, I couldn't find my keys this morning. I think Rita and Zed are behind it. Man, I lost my sock in the laundry. I think Rita and Zed could be behind it. Oh, dude, I forgot to do my homework. Do you think Rita and Zed are behind it? Everything.
Whoops.
Oh.
I can't believe this. I lost my communicator. Okay. Wait, don't panic.
I know that feel. I have that feel like every day about everything.
Where is my cell phone?
Oh my god. Like, it always takes me like an extra 20 minutes to leave the door to go anywhere, because I always, like, forget something. Like, oh, right, my keys. Oh, right, my phone. Oh, right, my lunch. Whatever it is. Every day.
I found myself to go through a whole checklist. Keys, wallet, cell, watch, you know.
Yeah. So, Pure Nerdy wants to show his girl DRPR any recommendations for an episode. Oh, well, it depends upon how far you want to go into Power Reviews, if you want to show it off, because, like, if you want to just jump right into it, you know, Power Reviews has so many different elements to it that are just crazy. Like, I usually find that either you start from the first episode or from episode 20, and that's a good starting place for the story. if you want to jump into where it's, very much a serialized, sci-fi action adventure, you could always, jump in at the beginning of year 3. Or if you want to do, like, after the Phantom Ranger reveal, and you want to do something trippy, you can start off with the beginning of year 2. I really do. There are so many different episodes that I'm proud of in so many different ways. Because I've gotten to experiment with so many different things over the years of doing Power reviews. Between doing things more emotionally with the serialized storytelling. So I have a tough time saying, oh, I recommend you check this episode out because it doesn't, no episode really exists in a vacuum. Which is probably to my detriment. The fact that you can't really just jump in. What was that?
Started the first one, watch them all. Seriously, they're all good.
Like, some of my favorite episodes are episodes that are not actually indicative of the rest of the show. Like, I love our Trickster Treat episode, but it's not indicative of the rest of the show. Brush with Destiny was a great deep dive into the characters' psyches, but it's also not indicative of the rest of the show. So it's really hard to say.
Keep searching for Kimberly. Only she can help them now.
Monster turned them all into the Grey Ranger.
You just gotta turn up the gain. Yeah, for some reason, the Skype call has been very quiet for this last, 2 hours, and I don't know why. Just by comparison to how loud it was earlier in the day. Or maybe I'm just getting old. There's also that. I've just gotten very old today. Just today. Like, I started off at 35. I don't know how old I am. Like 50? Something like that. I think that feels right. Oh.
Your friends are all turned for grenades.
Yeah. This episode is very standalone, but it really hits upon what makes Power Rangers work in so many different ways. Like, this is just a really well executed episode.
So to be clear, because this detail kind of skipped past me here, did they steal the painting as a diversion, or was that actually involved in creating the monster somehow?
They haven't actually explained where the painting went. Rita and Zed had nothing to do with it as far as the episode's established.
Red herring.
But you're just used to that assumption of, oh, something went missing, Rita and Zed did something. Every time something goes missing, oh, it was Rita and Zed.
Keep making monsters out of stuff.
It's like...
Don't worry, I'm sure Officer Spoken Scholar on the case. They'll find it.
Be like, hey, hon.
They're drilling all the...
Hey, hon, do you know where the power drill is? I don't know. Maybe Rita and Zed had something to do with it. Everything.
We'll call Officer Spoken Scholar, they'll find it.
But yeah, this kicks off... Okay, I will admit, this is not fully a standalone, because it is sort of the introduction of Kim's slow farewell arc. So that is fair. It introduces the idea, even though that's not actually the arc that leads to her leaving.
Fired his brush at her like 12 times already.
This is also just kind of a great fight. Oh, I love that. Your friends are always with you. Like, it's very inspirational. It's a good episode.
I like a monster calling a ranger, especially Tommy. You shut up.
Yeah. Oh. My other computer kind of nodded off a little bit.
Below him. Don't actually aim at him. Oh, there you go. Okay.
There it is. Paint that ground. Tyrannosaurus kind of looks good as a Grey Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning Collection we gotta find another way to get a Tommy in there. It's like, we'll have the Lightning Collection gray version of the White Ranger. But yeah, one of the great things that Power Rangers manages to do, and this episode really encapsulates it, is create physical manifestations of internal conflicts, so that you can externalize it and defeat it and have that emotional catharsis to move forward. It's something that, you know, is not necessarily something that they consciously do with the show when they're creating it. It's not, you know, something I think that they were really, the way that they were thinking of it at the time. Alex the Azarath has donated $10. Thank you very much, Alex the Azarath. We are at $899. That is amazing. We are almost at 900, which is outstanding. Because, oh my goodness, we have raised $579 today. That is amazing, and we are, and that gives us, oh man, we are $25 away now from Ranger Catastrophe. So thank you again to Alex the Azarath. I know you donated before. Thank you for donating again. So we are $25 away from getting into the Catherine Sutherland episodes. It's crazy. Ninja expansion mode. This is for when you might have purchased the base. You might have gotten the free play version of Ninja for your phone for free. You might have gotten Ninja for your phone for free, but if you want the expansion mode, you're gonna have to pay extra.
Comes with alternate or skin.
There you go. You get a new skin here. I do like the alternate skin for Ninja. It's pretty great.
That's a good point. Is he in like the any like the mobile games or anything?
I believe he's in Legacy Wars. He is in Legacy Wars.
In the mobile one.
Yeah, Legacy Wars.
Okay.
I don't know if they have an alternate skin for him yet, so he can do his warrior mode, his samurai mode, battle mode, angry at evil mode. Nice. I forgot about the new cockpit too. This is when we finally got to see it.
Radiator face burn.
A radiator face would burn. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be so painful.
You two are responsible for stealing our undershirt.
We go. It was his painting. He didn't steal it, he just took it to work on it.
And I'll translate his French accent for him.
Yeah. Man, that one guy who just walked by had a huge sports jacket on. Very much the 90s.
Sure, sweetie, what about? I love you very much. I'm very excited about everything that's happening, but I just want you to know
Yes,
that I'm
Mom is a
really worried about losing
fantastic
my
actor.
friends and changing schools and learning a new language.
Why did you say something about?
I love how you can tell that she worked herself up to say this out loud. That's why she's just barreling right through it. She wants to get all those emotions out.
Of course things are going to be okay. As long as we're honest with one another, they have to be.
Oh, and then this is just great. We got another donation. We got another $15 from El Neo Diablo. Alright, so we are only $10 away now from having the entirety of the Ranger Catastrophe. Oh, this is fantastic. And that pushes, we are now over 900. Over 900! I knew you guys could deliver on this. I knew it. I had faith in you, and you have absolutely delivered, and it's been fantastic. This is so just sweet and wonderful. Like,
We're just gonna adopt you for a year. Don't worry about it.
yeah. But they have spent this past year sort of just building up this relationship between them, and it's a great evolution of it.
I'll send you both back into basic training. Is that what you want? No, sir. I didn't think so.
I like this.
And then as soon as coming off the Olympics, Aisha's basically like, well, I'm outing to Africa. Here's a replacement. Bye.
All right. Man, we are rolling right through.
Fantastic job with the casting. If you look at the actress for Aisha's mother, she looks like Karen Ashley looks like now.
That's a fair argument. All right, time for passing the lantern. We got a little Adam focus here. It's great. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. We are counting down. It'll be skipping over the credits again. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll be doing its little loading screen. So you're going to want to have yours queued up to 1 minute in. So we're right after the opening credits. Here it goes, here it comes, and we are moving. Here we go. We are 1 minute and 5 seconds into the episode. The title has come on screen, Passing the Lantern. I hope Adam had a good time with his family reunion. I do too. I speak very quickly. I think part of it is due to being very tired.
Look, I found this land dumpster behind the thing.
See, a lantern keeper is chosen for each generation. So it's a big responsibility. Hey, what is this inscription?
This,
She doesn't look as fresh.
You mean I didn't tell you?
She was like, eh.
yeah. One thing that I kind of love here is, apart from just that Skull still has that amazing earring, even as a cop, is I love that back then it was still, the show would still explore their actual, like, relationship with their cultures of origin, their families' cultures. And that's something that the show hasn't done in so many years, and I think it's important that they delve into that again. Not just being diverse and representative in their casting, but also in how they present their characters. Like, being colorblind is one thing when it comes to casting. That's sort of that first step. The other step is acknowledging the value of in the differences that the show used to do, but I feel like it hasn't really done in a really long time. Nguyen, sorry, I mispronounced because I'm very tired, has just donated another $600, or not $6, not $600, $6 to get us to 920. So we are just a little bit short, I think by $4 more. I believe we're about $4 away from having a Ranger catastrophe. This has been amazing. So let's see here. If I'm right, that's what. Yeah, we are really close now. That 324 is what we need, and that'll get us to 18 episodes in, which is amazing. You guys have been really killing it lately, and it's fantastic. Mm.
What does it mean? What does it mean to you? I guess that fear is only as powerful as you make it in your mind. Is that right? If you believe it.
And this one says, the wolf that wins is the one you feed.
Yes. Which is such a great phrase, and I love it. It's such a great philosophy.
You know, it really was nice of your parents to let her start one at your house, Aisha. Yeah, you know, she's been practicing so hard for this gymnastics competition. I just hope she has time to work.
I like the acknowledgement here of what's going on with Kim's character.
I was just going to say, I like little touches that link episodes together.
It's great. Like, Kimberly has one of the best character arcs and character development, and just, she is a really well-rounded character. And I feel like it's easy to forget because she was sort of, you know, portrayed initially as the airhead, and, you know, she's remembered as being, you know, every boy's first crush. But part of the things with that is she did get a lot of focus over the course of the series, and she ended up becoming a really well-rounded character, partially because she started off from that seemingly shallow starting point. And I love that. I love that so much.
sometimes the advice Code gives doesn't make sense until a day or two later. That's good. Sure doesn't now.
And I like this sort of connecting to your roots. It's really nice. In a meaningful way. And in an inclusive way as well. He's not doing this separate from everything. He's doing this with a friend of his who's helping him with it. Someone who's not part of that same culture but is still informed on it. Hey, Squat and Babu. Now note, I don't know anything really about Korean culture, so this could be horribly misrepresentative. I don't know. I certainly hope not. But I hope, but it feels like it's being handled respectfully. I certainly hope that it indicates that as such. This is also just a lovely location that they're fighting at.
I will throw you and then somehow immediately jump after you.
What was that?
I will throw you and then somehow immediately jump after you.
Yep, exactly.
And jump higher.
And yes.
I'm just wheelbarrowing my legs into your faces.
Oh, there's a frog leg.
Oh, I just got a little error. I gotta fix that. So, because right now it's covering up your faces.
Error.
Message Plus has stopped. I don't even know what Message Plus is.
By the way, Jacob, I don't know if you can see me, but I changed into something a little more appropriate.
Oh, you got your orange gear going? Oh, how I like it, the pumpkin gear. Nice.
Yeah, this is my Pumpkin Ranger variant.
Wonderful.
Message Plus is the Verizon texting app.
Oh, okay. So, man, I don't know why I would care about that. I've never used that once.
I'm really sorry. I promised I wouldn't let anything happen to it. I swore it from my family.
All but like two of them for some reason.
It's not your fault. Do not be so hard on yourself.
I shouldn't have let it out of my sight.
They won't understand the monster stole it.
This is bit.
No, actually several irreplaceable lanterns have been stolen.
Oh yeah, what's with that?
One of the lanterns was his.
Yeah.
We'll get back to missing goods. But let me make a suggestion.
What, is he mad about it or something?
Coming to the 90s.
What?
Ever hear of a flashlight?
Really, guys? Come on.
Come on, let's go.
They're riding that fine line between what we imagine a cop should be and how cops actually are. Like, we always like to imagine, oh, the cops were going to find, are going to find our stuff for us. They're going to, solve the crime, etc. But really, usually they just take a report of what happened for the sake of verifying your claim. More often than not, what police actually do when it's with regards to stolen goods is basically acting as a verification service to prove that you're not lying about your stuff being stolen, to protect the interests of the insurance company, really more so than to find your stuff. If they find your stuff, great, but it very rarely happens. And that's kind of fascinating, considering how it acts in opposition to what we imagine their job to be.
To put it very simply, the police exist to protect property, not people.
Yes. And it is something that, you don't like to think about in those terms. But when you get down to the actual mechanics of how their job operates, that is their job. So it's not to be insulting or anything to the people who are trying to take that job to make a difference. Some of them do, and some of them, obviously are in it for more power-driven purposes, let's say. But in terms of the actual nature of the role, it is designed to protect the property more so than acting to protect people. And that has even been sort of established in court, that they don't actually have a responsibility to act to protect somebody. if they can choose not to. They don't have a legal responsibility to, and that's not because it's not part of their defined role in society. Which is something that we don't really realize considering how we see them in media. So yeah, again, we do deep dives here on this channel. We're getting into the deep stuff here.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
About lanterns, they don't even have the right one anyway. Oh, massage that brain.
Zed's being congratulated on being politically incorrect. I kind of love the acknowledgement here that being politically incorrect is a villainous activity. Because it really just means you're being a jerk. Most of the time, that's what that means. If political correctness meant what a lot of people tried to claim that it means, then people who they claim are, I like how they're not politically correct. No, those people are being politically correct because.
Why was this monster playing along with the slapstick?
Yeah. I don't know. It's great. Political correctness, really, when you get right down to it, what it should mean is when you're only being correct in terms of what works towards the benefit of your politics. So in that regard, I know that, obviously, he's part of this election. Donald Trump is someone who is often regarded as, he's not politically correct, and that's something that a lot of people like. But when you get right down to it, he's not correct about most things he says. He is correct in such a way that it makes sense for him politically. So he's arguably the most politically correct person that I'm aware of, without ever being actually factually correct. So, putting that aside, we've got some superheroes on the screen. Let's pay attention to those.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's sort of a more.
Mm.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. 4 of them in one place, immediately followed by the other 2 in the other place.
Yeah. Oh, Sirius Lewis, I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your laptop. I will admit this it's one good reason to write things on Google Doc. You never know if you never know what you might end up losing in terms of physical technology. I should honor that more myself. I write a lot of things on physical in like Word docs that I probably should save on like Google Drive just in case my computers die on me due to obvious abuse. And obviously computer theft is just incredibly difficult to deal with with how technology-driven our society is right now.
As much as I hate to go in that direction, you might want to also save it on an extra separate drive just in case the fascist government shuts down Google.
Yeah. Yeah, not trusting Google is also very bad.
Good point.
We all live in this crazy system called capitalism, and it's got some flaws. Definitely got some flaws. But that's a whole separate conversation. For after we tend to our immediate battle to save the world. That is a journey. That is a battle for down the road after we have immediately dealt with the current threat to humanity. One threat at a time, one monster at a time, as best as we can. Oof.
No, I don't know if anybody's a sports fan. I'm just noticing here that the Lakers beat the Miami Heat by 20 points to win a record-tying 17th NBA championship.
Congratulations to them.
I, unfortunately, am a Miami Heat fan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we gave it our best. We were just outmatched.
Very sorry, Sean.
Yeah, it's alright.
Wow, Adam just delivered a crazy punch there.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That was a heck of a punch.
Nice. Oh yeah. We got the arm fold there. There comes the sass.
I hate that when you hit the golf ball and it just comes rolling right back to you.
Oh wow, I am coming up on the end of that SD card. How much time do I have? Oh, I have like exactly 5 minutes left in this episode and exactly 5 minutes left on this SD card. Perfect. I planned that, obviously.
All part of the plan.
Long swig of water here. All right. So yeah, we are literally $4 away from completing the Ranger Catastrophe, which is amazing to me.
$4.
Whew. Keep myself moving, keep myself awake, keep myself alive, keeping myself from losing consciousness. It's been a long day. We got this. We got this. I'm 13 hours deep into this now. It's good. It's good stuff. This has been a good day. Wow, I didn't really remember that you could see like the face in that cockpit. That's kind of great. Yes, Ninjor, yes, welcome. Good to see you, sir.
Now, am I wrong, or did the last episode establish that the Rangers sleep with their communicators on their wrists?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've fallen asleep with my watch on my wrist. That is not comfortable.
I fall asleep with my Fitbit on all the time. It's not tremendously comfortable. Well, one of the reasons that I do that is actually to kind of track my sleep to get myself more responsible. I haven't been on top of that as well. I need to do better. It's something I always want to be doing better with, and sometimes I'm better, sometimes I'm not. But I want to be responsible with my sleep patterns because I know that they can wreck your system, and it's probably my one main vice is sleep deprivation. Yeah, like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any whatevers. I don't do any of them goofball with the things. But I do sleep deprivation, which does mess with your head. And I need to be more responsible on that. I'm always trying to do better.
The evil lantern is no more.
Goodbye, evil lantern.
I'm surprised you never noticed that, considering we used him. Ninja's Heroes at the grid deck is that attack, a couple of sword strikes, and then a bunch of maneuvers.
Nice.
Once I realized the lantern was just a symbol of my family's strength and wisdom, it wasn't so tough.
Oh.
Wish we hadn't demolished your family heirloom.
Now that's interesting that they're thinking of it that way, because this is the first time that there was ever the thought that you destroy something that's Zed made into a monster, and it doesn't just come back. Because normally these things just come back.
Those finest insisted on following us over. They thought the weapon would be too dangerous.
Yeah.
I guess we should thank you.
You should thank us, all right, because we've solved the case.
Nice.
Another mystery solved by both Meyer and Stowe.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
Oh, you should have seen what we had to go through battling that huge lantern monster. Yeah, and those huge pigeons. Still reach for it, Detective. And we put it one by one. Careful, guys. I just marked the one that's so slippery.
That would be great if someone just Sheree is saying someone should donate $3.99 just to get just shy. It's amusing trolling, I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of which, if you're entertained by this, by the way, you are playing Heroes of the Grid, there is a Vulcan Skull expansion pack where they are the orange and purple Rangers from the comics, and their
wonderful.
attacks and character abilities are hilarious.
Alright, so I'm gonna pause here. And I'm going to switch out my SD card real quick. Here we go. And now I have successfully swapped my SD card, so now I do have the additional time for... Alright, we ready for one last episode. We're in that home run, people. This is the last episode of the night. I think we can raise that last $4 to finish off the Ranger Catastrophe. Oh, I love that apparently the memory card cover is open
cover is open.
That message apparently carries over into the input. I didn't realize that it would. That's great. So yeah, like, I honestly, what I would love to see, because we've made it so far already, today. If we could get in this last, 20 minutes for this final episode with Wizard for a day, I think it would be great if we could pull some serious magic and just go for it and nail 1,000. Because we're so close. Like, obviously no judgment if we don't. We have raised exactly $600 already today, which is remarkable. But if we can just push that last 80 to get to 1,000 for the weekend, that'd be outstanding.
How many episodes would that put us at for tomorrow?
Well, let's see. At 10:24, that gets us through Ranger Catastrophe, so that would be 8 episodes for tomorrow. And then if we do another, so that would be another 76 episodes, or $76, not 76 episodes. Oh man, I can't do another 76 of these tomorrow. Okay, $76, so 18, oh boy, my brains, I'm just going to do a calculation there. So that would get us another 4 episodes. So that would get us through Changing of the Zords to follow that cab. If we can get in that if we get in that next $4, that gets us through Ranger Catastrophe. If we get through that next $80 to get to 1,000, a full grand, then that will get us all the way past Changing of the Zords. The introduction of the Shogun Zords, Lord Zed in the command center, the fight between Tommy and Lord Zed, all that. Plus the follow-up with Kimberly chasing after Gunter Smith. Follow that cab. We will be 22 episodes deep into Season 3 if we make it to $1,000 tonight. And that would take us into the morning. That would cover things like... Right now we're already looking at having the first 2 hours solidly covered. This would get us all the way through to noon and beyond. So I believe that we can fill that out. Nudge whoever you want to nudge. Give them a nudge. Don't be nudges, but give them little nudges. Scott saying 76 airings of the 2017 movie. That'd be no problem. All right. No. I am going to start at 9 a.m. tomorrow, because here's the thing. If we get to Alien Rangers, it's going to take all day. I'm going to need all that time. I want to leave time. All right.
Hey, Jake?
Yes.
There's a message in the Skype chat here. Matty J wants to know if he can jump in for the last episode.
Yeah, we can toss in a little Matty J here. Sure. Yeah, there we go.
Bye, folks. Changing of the Zords is when I'm supposed to jump in, so get there.
Exactly. Let me open this up here. There it goes. Oh, my back. Oh, everything is sore. Whew, I'm so exhausted.
Here we go. There he is.
Oh, did he jump himself back in? Awesome.
He jumped himself back in.
Jumped himself back in.
He has the technology. He has the forbidden knowledge.
This is literally one more for the road.
There we go.
That's what it is. Yes, the knowledge is as we're building to it tomorrow. I want to add.
Oh, we just got another $5 from Mini Moon. Thank you, Jen. Now we're getting that Ranger Catastrophe. We are.
Oh, woohoo!
There we go, and I'm just popping everybody in. We're getting 4. There we go. All 4 corners are in there now. Whew. We've got a party.
4 corners of the Ranger globe.
Hi, everybody.
Hey!
Hi, Matty J.
Oh my god. Good. Alright, Wizard for a Day. Where are we right now?
We are about to kick it off.
Started yet. Wizard for a Day, we have not started it yet.
Yeah. I needed to take a quick moment
Awesome.
to make sure that I was recording this for posterity. All right, and we are $75 away from 1,000. And my brain is deteriorating. My spine, it's gonna hate me in the morning, but I'm gonna keep on rolling. All right, let's see. We didn't finish the bloopers from passing the lantern, so I'm gonna check out these bloopers. Everything's under control, and you're falling into water for some reason.
Oh,
That's
the
great.
fishing issue.
Nothing to see here.
Aww. That's.
You sounded like Tim Allen just there, Jacob.
Tim Allen, you're problematic. Okay, so here we go. All right, it's queuing up. Wizard for a Day. It's got about 15 seconds to go, and then we are going to be skipping over the opening credits, so we're going to be about a minute in. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Oh, and Jen Wen wanted to join in. No, you can absolutely join in. No, don't worry. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it just jumped in, by the way. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Jen, I'm so sorry to hear about your nephew. I'm so sorry. Come on, let's get you in. Let's get you in here. You can join us. Let me add you in. If I can find the button thing. Oh my goodness, 18. So young.
Well, I got chosen to be it, so now I gotta be a teacher. Oh, really? Who are you trading places with?
Here we go.
Science teacher. He's really strict. Yeah, well,
All right, so Jen, we're bringing you in. You're part of the crew here. We've got our full-on Ranger team now. We got a team of 5 here in this Skype call. There we go. And I'm gonna. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'll pop you in one of these spots. I think that's how this works. Oof. He is a tough teacher. Okay, I think I spun things around. I can only fit about 4 in there. I think I got everybody. Ooh.
Oh, this is gonna get awkward the minute Zordon
There it goes.
starts calling in. It's like, Rocky,
Yeah.
you seem older.
And by the way, I realized I hadn't been discussing it, but I meant to show this off during Wild West Rangers, Needle Nose, we got to see earlier. Who else have I gotten here?
Oh yeah, now I can see some of your drawings. Let me see them.
Okay, let me
I didn't mean for that to sound so demanding.
let me bring up some of our recent ones here. Oh, there we go. We got Artist Mole. So if you guys want to see him there, if that's wherever it is, I don't know. I can't tell what you guys can see. I can tell what the camera can see. There we go. And now I'll put it in front of the proper camera. Artist Mole, coming from a dream and the dream gun thing. And then I should on the next page, or not this page. There we go. Oh, and then it skips around a little bit.
Take a look at the tweet. You know what this means?
I think Rocky's a cheater.
Oh, Vulcan Skull figures, stolen books.
Okay, here we go. We've got Vampirus over here on the stream now, coming out of his Vampirus egg. There we go. And over here on the next page, we have Lantera from our previous episode. So there he is. Lantera, complete with the lantern and his little lantern style thing. And you know who I've got here? Because, spoilers, Mr. Wilton's going to become a monster. I got Mr. Wilton there alongside Marvo the Meanie. Complete in the Rocky t-shirt. From this episode.
From the same Power Rangers episode, Wizard for a Day?
Yep.
This one, carbon, sulfur dioxide, and this yellow liquid.
This is the first time this is one of the few times, not the first time, but this was when they really started to lean in a little bit more to Rocky as more of a comedic character. We got it for the first time with Rocky Just Wants to Have Fun, but then we didn't really revisit it until here. Mr. Wilton. Mr. Wilton, stop. Wilbur Wilton.
Stop talking in class. Would you like any attention? And you?
What is your problem, dude? You do not. You're just being mean to everyone. It just blew his mind. You just blew this man's mind. Here you go. Has the leaderboard changed? The leaderboard, to my knowledge, has not changed yet. We've got some people who are really up there, though. Let me take a look at what it looks like on my end, if I can see the full leaderboard. So Jenny C is still our number one, according to what I can see. I feel like there are some that should be higher up here. Let me try refreshing this. Maybe I'm seeing an old leaderboard over here on my end. One of the big things is just Jenny C, Seamus Kelly, and Pocky Squirrel just really just delivered the big donations this weekend. But I feel like there are a couple people who might be like not that far behind them. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Dragon Trainer, Hit Monkey have both surpassed Steve at this point. With Dragon Trainer having 65, Hit Monkey hitting 55. Steve is still strong there at 50. Ranger Liz at 48 from last night. Minnie Moon, Jen, our very own Jen here, is in strong spot at 8 with 45. Amiro Diablo with 43. Athena at 41. We've had a lot of really good donations.
Mary J. Sorry. Only a fourth of 5. I can only afford the 5.
Yeah. Don't forget that Jennifer did several donations over on the other page too.
Yeah.
The little ones add up.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. Jen, you did. Oh, I forgot. You added in. You donated quite a bit before we got things set up for you there, I believe, too. Yeah, that's right. You donated a bunch, and then we skipped over it a little bit because it was donated before we had everything set up. So you might actually be our number one. It's just not tracking properly because it wasn't. It was donated separately. So
well,
yeah.
To answer Pocky's question in the chat, yes, it's reflecting the total of people who have donated. No
Yes.
matter how many different donations.
Yeah, it's the sum of their donations. We got it fixed, so it does that. But yeah, Jen, I'm trying to remember now. How much did you donate separately? Because it was quite a bit, if I recall correctly.
Take the troubles in the park.
I can talk to MJ about properly updating the leaderboard, but I think you might actually be in the lead, if I recall correctly. Oh wow! Have you really donated over 200 today? I lost track myself. That is fantastic.
Awesome.
That is amazing. You're killing it. Like, especially when you're dealing with rough stuff in your own life. So very appreciated. Everyone has really been stepping up, and it's fantastic.
I get the other splits and everything else, but this body would have taken them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Less effort.
Trying to see if I can do anything to enhance the sound there. Because I think, yeah, so the stuff through the Streamlabs link, that was only 45, and then I think you did like another like 90 after that at least. So I think you're at least at 135, if not farther, which is outstanding. But it might be close to 200, and I'm forgetting about things. Because I could be, and I feel bad if I have. I appreciate that so much, Jen. You've been such a trooper this whole weekend. It's fantastic. Oh! Marva the Meanie. Mr. Wilton has now become Marva the Meanie. Oh dear.
Here's the last science class, or experiment if you want to be on the satellite of the dome.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying that we've got sort of this communal atmosphere right now. It's fantastic. I tried to make sure that the total that we have listed was modified to include Jen's additional donations, or at least the ones that we know about. So I need to look at the comparison between what's been submitted through the stream this weekend and what our actual goal ticker is showing, because that does include Jen's submissions as well.
No, it's fine. Let the other guys keep the leaderboard, because I don't want to upset Jenny or anything.
No, it's
like
fine.
I said, I don't want to be like a bother.
No, it's fine. I don't actually even know how to update the leaderboard that way, but I just want to make sure that you get that recognition for being such a superstar. It's the weekend of the gens. You two are united in your genship.
Gen power.
Major gen power. You represent, like, Aaron Cahill would be so proud of the gen power this weekend.
Just thinking that. Gen Scott. Yes.
I'm certain of that. Having met Aaron Cahill at Power MorphCon a number of times, she would be so proud of the gen power this weekend. Oof. Marvo is a meanie. Also, I will say, like, they keep coming up with new things for Power Rangers to get turned into. Some of this stuff is just ridiculous. Now they're just turned into random chemical flasks. They're not even pint-sized ranges. Oh man. This has been great. Boom. So, yeah, this. Of course, the last episode of the night. Oh, which I have not updated on now playing Wizard for a Day. Is something that relates to my own life, because, you know, when I first, like, oh man, You know what's really trippy is, like, I haven't seen this episode in years. I cannot remember when I last saw this episode. Odds are, when I last saw this episode, I was, you know, a grade school, high school student. And now I'm a teacher. I'm looking at this from the complete opposite perspective from when I saw it last. Yeah, and Pocky agrees that Aaron Cahill would be proud of the Gen Energy going on here.
What?
Last you saw this episode, Jake, you were but the student, but now you are the master.
It is nice for Rocky to get a Red Ranger focus.
Yes.
He didn't have much of that.
Yeah, this is one of the few genuine Rocky focuses.
Am I the only one who finds it highly unbelievable that Zed would just let Rito run around with his staff like that?
It is pretty ridiculous. But this is the biggest Rocky focus we've gotten since Rocky just wants to have fun, which is really just like the other focus we've gotten for him. He's in many regards kind of the doofus of the group. Like, he's got a good heart and he works hard, but he's a, you know, kind of has the bad luck and is a bit of a goofball. He's a very different Red Ranger mold from Jason. He's much more in line with Connor as a Red Ranger, I would say.
That's one reason I'm very excited. One of them Heroes of the Grid packs they're releasing is Rocky, Aisha, Adam, and Kat.
Yeah, that's true.
They're character cards that have previously released as a Kickstarter bonus on the first Kickstarter, but now they're going to have their own combat decks customized to them.
Right. Yeah, I know that they have alternate character cards, because I've got those character
Ninja Zords come with that, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be nice. The Ninja Zords coming with that? Nice.
Yeah. Or no, so I literally meant that. Not the Ninja Zords, the Thunder Zords.
The Thunder Zords. Still nice. We need some more Megazords in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've played Heroes of the Grid a few times with our friend Abby, who lives nearby, and it's been a lot of fun.
A lot of people have been petitioning them, given the disproportionate number of Zords to Rangers in these early seasons, to release some packs of just cards for all the extra Zords, but they haven't seemed inclined to do that yet.
That's fair. Oh, this is sort of a highlight that it is a Rocky focus. His Zord gets to deliver this little bonus fight here.
Yep.
I'm also really amused that in the previous episode they were so concerned about, oh no, if we destroy this monster, we'll destroy Adam's lantern. And in this case, they're like, no, yeah, we're just going to destroy this monster. It doesn't matter that it's a person.
You'll get a sub.
Don't worry, it's not a real person. It's just a teacher. We're not real people. If we were real people, then it would make sense if you ran into us at the grocery store. But if you ran into a teacher at a grocery store, that's weird. Because they're not.
While he's getting paid, you're doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Look, it's happened to me several times as a kid. It is the most awkward thing, period.
That reminds me of an episode of the Nickelodeon cartoon Hey Arnold, where the teachers, I believe, went on strike, and they got jobs in all the other places, and the students got so fed up of running into their teachers everywhere, they went to the principal and they negotiated and ended the teacher strike.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I like that that Billy is straight up an actual like red belt now. He's had that progression.
I can break boards now.
Now that being said, like he's definitely on a different belt track than what I'm familiar to. I didn't do my first belt breaking until my first board breaking until I tested for my black belt. Belt breaking. I didn't do my first belt breaking until I gained a few extra pounds. No, my first board breaking was actually the day of my black belt test. I had virtually no training. I had no real preparation for it. It's like I tried it out the first day. The day that I was going in for my black belt test, and I did it, and I felt really good about it. Because, like, if I'd been going at the right pace, I would have had it in about 3 years from when I started. But I took a break after about 2 years, and I didn't come back to it until years later, and then I had to get back into it. So it took me 15 years to get my black belt.
Belt breaking sounds more like Kamen Rider.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Pocky knows all about the belt breaking. We know what Pocky thinks of belts. We all know what Pocky thinks of belts.
So I have to ask, what they did with the teacher in this episode, is he ninja in disguise?
He is a hardcore dude.
You never know. Stupid idiots make me angry.
And we've actually got another Rocky episode kicking off tomorrow with the football episode. Which
is another Rocky episode.
Yeah. Which is also another Mark Litton episode, but it's too early in the morning to be... I'm not going to ask Mark Litton to get up at 6 a.m. in California.
No, that's just not fun. It's for charity.
But he will be... if we can get to Master Vile in the Metallic Armor, then he will be joining us for that. Which would be amazing.
How much do you need for that?
For that, well, let's see. If we do another, if we were to do another, less than 75, that'll get us to follow that cab if we get to 900. To get to Master Vile in the Metallic Armor is well in there. That's episode 29 through 31. So let's see. Where would So let's see here.
Do it, and I can match them.
Let's see, time
Somebody just threw down the gauntlet.
Oh, man. Okay, so we would need to get to $1,158 to get to the end of Master Vile in the Metallic Armor.
Easy. How much money?
So right now we're at 925. So we are at, what are you doing there? You're not doing your order of operations. Do that right. Oh wait, no, that is right. That is right. We would need 600. Oh no, I know what I'm looking at. I'm being ridiculous. Minus 325, not 925. We are $233 away from having Master Vile in the Metallic Armor tomorrow.
Oh, there goes money.
33. 1.
I'm not expecting any single person to donate $233.
I'm not going to do that. I would expect them to pass it this week.
I'm just saying that that is how far away we are from Master Vile in Metallic Armor. So, if anyone has any final donations they wish to make before we close out tonight, now's a great time for it. We are...
This little beauty right here that I got at a flea market years ago.
What is that? Oh, it's a Ninja Megazord. Nice.
Yep. The spooky version, as a matter of fact.
Oh, cute. Yeah, I'm looking at it again on my laptop through my camera on my phone. So everything's very tiny right now.
Tiny little screen for the tiny little Megazord. There you go.
Because I'm looking at on this screen, which is looking at this screen, which is looking at this screen.
Right. It's another football episode, but in the same time, it's a New Year's episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got... So as far as what we have made our way through, we have Fourth Down and Long, Stop the Hate Master Part 1 and 2, Final Face Off, The Potion Notion, I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger, and Ranger Catastrophe Part 1, and we are, and Part 2. And we are, if we make it to, after that point, if we make it to a grand, we'll be looking at changing of the Zords and follow that cab.
Right there on standby. Get me there. Get me there.
Oh, I thought it was called a cab.
And you know what, I'll make sure if,
Follow that cab comes between,
changing of the Zords and, different shades of paint. Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you. I did my episode guide wrong.
Yes. So yeah, the ones that we're looking at. So if we get to 1,000, that'll be changing of the Zords followed by Follow That Cab. From there, we want to try and get to the different shade of pink three-parter. That would be probably in the next 18 times 3. I know 18 times. I can do $54. So if we get to like 1,050, we get different shade of pink. After that point, we get the cat episodes with Rita's PETA, Another Brick in the Wall, Chimp in Charge. So that would be around if we get to 1,100, and then if we can get to 1,158, then we will have all 3 parts of Master File and Metallic Armor.
I'll tell you, if we get that,
It all happened.
Yes.
let's be fair. If we get that far and get 2 more, I'm pretty sure Pocky will pay for the Alien Rangers herself. So.
No, I'll pay for that.
I was gonna say we gotta get through Alien Rangers.
No, I want to definitely.
I know.
Alien Rangers. I want to pay for that.
Thank you so
I
much.
love to-
I love to be around with
Alien Rangers. Let's get there.
I'm not Pocky with that too. I'm with Pocky on that one. I'll match with her. If you guys want to do Alien Rangers.
Nice. I'm loving the teamwork
I'd love to be around just for another shade of pink. Actually, season 3 is one of my favorites. Is my favorite
Yeah.
season of MFPR.
So.
And plus they got the first ninjas too.
So let me see if I can get that link in chat one last time as we sort of wrap things up.
Donate.
So here we go. I believe this is the proper link if I'm looking at it properly. The Streamlabs link. Streamlabs Database Ranger. I believe that's the link. I'm very tired.
My favorite quote since we are in Ninja season, aka Ranger, is my favorite from Hurricane himself.
Yeah.
Ninjas are ninjas.
Ninjas are ninjas. That's true.
Well,
And ninjas are awesome.
actually, I think this was it. Which
That's
one was
awesome,
it? It was
bro.
one of those. One of the links I threw into the chat is correct. I'm not sure which one. I'm very tired. I'm so tired. It's been a long day.
Pocky already said it. She said if I could match. Pocky already said it. She said they don't allow a single donation that big.
Yeah.
How about match challenge?
Match challenge.
There you go.
And I love how Sheree keeps saying, no, just always go to the 99 cents. It's great.
Although don't feel bad, Jake. As Pocky pointed out earlier in the chat, Jake's cognitive state is visibly deteriorating as the stream progresses, and I feel bad, but it's also kind of hilarious.
That is why I'm doing this. Keep it going. Who is saying that?
More.
Was Pocky saying that?
That was Pocky, yes.
Yes. That is the goal. I want you to be entertained by my just steady deterioration. That is the goal here. I knew that the longer this went on, the more absurd I was going to think, and then it would just be the beautiful train wreck of my psyche. Please marvel in the beautiful train wreck of my psyche.
Support this man's slide into insanity by watching a ton of Power Rangers on a Sunday.
Oh my god. I've now watched all of season 2, a movie plus 10 episodes, and I'm still trying to do more.
Listen, if we raise enough, we might be able to talk him into a 24-hour stream. Who knows? Come on, let's
You never know. You don't know.
I have done those. I have done one of those before. My friend, all I gotta say is this: bring caffeine.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I will note, I don't drink coffee.
Oh.
Like, all of this is just my manic energy as a, I want to say person. I guess I'm a person. I'm not sure.
Not anymore. Not sure anymore.
I'm a teacher, so obviously I'm not a person. As we've established.
I am not one of them, but there you go.
Here's the thing. How many episodes have Mark written for season 3?
He wrote 4 episodes for season 3, one of which is too early in the day because it's going to be the next episode we cover. And then the rest are going to be Master Battle and Metallic Armor.
Oh, Metallic Armor.
Yeah.
That's deep down. Still gotta get there.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're somebody who's here with me right now, and you haven't done a donation yet, and you'd like to, now is a great time to wrap it up before I close for the night. It is about 11 o'clock. I've been going for 14 hours straight. YouTube doesn't even tolerate that.
I hope you press record.
And I've got 14 hours planned for tomorrow again, and that is going to be. And then I'm planning on teaching things to students somehow after that.
Yeah, but tomorrow's a holiday.
I know. No, I know. Tomorrow I'm doing this, and then the day after that is not a holiday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
So I'm somehow going to do teaching after another 14 hours of what's happening now is the plan, and it'll be amazing. We do actually have a conference day that day, so it's not too bad, and I can make it work. But I'm gonna be exhausted. I know. I'm doing this because I want to feel like I'm doing everything I can to make this happen. To make, and as we've established, I am a synth organic biomechanoid. I'm trying to make this. I feel like if I'm not putting in all my energy, I'm not doing everything that I can do to try and contribute to saving the world. This is our mission right now, and I'm making this my mission right now. And I'm going to do everything I can, and if all of you are on board and you can keep bringing in more people and more people and more people, we are expanding our Ranger team to make a difference and save the world. That's what we're doing.
I got another question. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So, since this thing's gonna be tomorrow at 9, what's gonna be the ending if we don't make it to Metallic or to end of season 3?
If we just end at the 925 mark, then that means we will be ending before noon. Or maybe around noon, depending upon the. So the last one would be Ranger Catastrophe Part 2, which I currently have set to start at 11:55, but we've been going pretty quick, so it would probably be wrapping up maybe around noon or a few minutes past noon. As far as if we don't raise any funds during the first 3 hours, then that'll basically be it. We've gained ourselves 3 hours worth of Power Rangers.
Oh, let's hope you guys tune in for tomorrow. You guys.
All right.
Definitely want to go into Okay, Pocky said if she's gonna make it if we do make it to Alien Rangers, it's gonna be after 6.
Right, because you gotta do. Oh, who just donated there? Orange Ranger. Thank you, sir. Orange Ranger doing his part. Thank you. Another $10 getting us to 935. That gets us halfway through another episode. Yes.
I didn't see it.
$10.
It was Orange Ranger Videos. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, quite welcome.
So.
Jed, this is an amazing thing you're doing, by the way. I just want to say that here in front of everybody, and just like, this is amazing work you're doing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you. I'm glad to have you here.
I know my buddy Easy was here. Was with you yesterday.
Yeah.
Even if it was for a short while, I'm glad to help out in any small measure I can.
Excellent.
Easy Rider was here yesterday.
Easy Rider was here yesterday. Yeah.
Well, he was in the chat. He wasn't able to speak because his voice was a little dead yesterday. He wasn't feeling well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He was going on call to be joining the Skype call, but then he couldn't do it. He wasn't feeling well.
Oh, poor guy.
So don't forget, when this is all said and done, this crazy weekend that we're doing, there will be more work that we can all do separately. It doesn't end here. It doesn't end, even if we stop at 9:35. That's not the end of this. We will have phone calls to make. We will have places that we can volunteer. Especially if you live in an urban region, in a swing state, those are major spots that need poll workers. If you don't live in a swing state, phone banking, you can do that for the swing states. I know that they're the places that are going to make this decision. So let's make sure that we get in touch with all these people. Swingleft.org is a great way to do it. So look at swingleft.org. Make sure that you're registered through vote.org. And make sure that you contact your local poll places if you want to volunteer there. And make sure that you vote. Don't forget about yourself. Your voice is also very important. We are fighting the rise of fascism, and the only way we do that is with an inclusivity of voices. It's the only way we can actually do it. Where we say no to an exclusionary rhetoric that turns people into enemies, that turns people into adversaries, that turns anything that you do into some betrayal. That's not what it is. We are diverse. We are together in creating a better world. That's what we want to do, moving forward. Taking the example that our heroes have given for us. Ranger Vision, donating another $15. Thank you. That gets us to $950. That is a nice round number for today. We raised...
That was me. I thought we should end the day on an even number.
That is amazing. Truth be told
How
now.
much did you donate?
Now all you chaos people out there, end it on an odd number.
How much?
There you go.
Hear it.
Who else threw in $5?
So,
Oh, okay.
so here's what I'm going to tell you here. Is that yesterday we raised $320. Today we raised $630.
Woo!
We are... I hate to do this to you guys. We are $10 away from doubling yesterday's total. We are literally $10 away from doubling yesterday's total. That is amazing. That stands to as a testament to how we are growing. We are growing this. We are getting this to something that we are proud of. We are making a difference. Like, this is more than I could feel comfortable donating on my own. Like, if I could just drop $1,000, I would. But I know I have a child on the way. I know I can't do that and still feel like I'm being responsible to my family. Just like I know that, not everybody has their own amount that they can comfortably contribute. And we'll be making our contribution as we get to the end of everything to sort of round things off. When we do the final actual physical donation. So...
Now, Nero, did we raise more today than we did in the entirety of the Season 1 streams?
Oh, and Fox
Yes.
said, together we are more.
Yes.
Yep.
With the Season 1 stream, we raised a total of $600, and that included the contribution from me and MJ.
Blew past that.
And today we have raised $630. And MJ and I haven't started making our contributions yet. And Athena just tossed in her post-snap donation. We have doubled yesterday's total.
All right.
That is fantastic. Ranger fans, you killed it today. Thank you. We are nearly to $1,000. And that is amazing. That is so amazing. You are also amazing.
And more than there.
Oh man, I feel like I should very much go to sleep so I can pick this up where we left off today. Because I'm trying to be, like I said, responsible in my sleep habits. As best I can. And I'm glad that I'm bringing you entertainment and joy and hopefully some inspiration to keep doing good things.
Why?
So, before I do our closing statements, I know I made mention earlier of my grandma, Bubby. My Bubby, when she passed away, it put a lot of things in perspective as far as I wasn't living the life I wanted to be living. I didn't feel like I was being who I wanted to be in terms of, I was a knife salesman, barely scraping by. And then I decided I wanted to do something with Power Rangers and do something creative, and that's why I created this YouTube channel. And and I just thought back on the kind of life that she lived and what she would be wanting me to do with it. And the two things I could think of, she would want you to be living a good life and being a good person. Being a good person, living a good life. So that's what I think we're trying to do, and I think we're doing that right now. We're all, living good lives, being good people. That's what we should all always be striving for, and making a difference to help save the world. So, I know we always have we had our opening 3 non-controversial statements that we think everyone should consider non-controversial. Now let's close with our final 3 statements that should be considered equally non-controversial. So you guys can join in with me. So I'll give you the cue up, and then you can sort of call and response here. So number 1, say it with me, chat, and chat here. Love is love.
Love is love.
Number 2, trans rights are human rights.
Trans rights are human rights.
And number 3, robots are cool.
Are cool.
Robots are cool.
These should be considered equally non-controversial statements to make. You should be able to say these without anyone thinking anything, that it's anything political or controversial. These are just simple statements. And don't forget to vote. Wear your mask and wash your hands.
Yeah, wash your hands and wear a mask, yeah.
Take care of your fellow humans on this planet. And we're going to keep this going. Vote and help others vote. And I think that's where I'm going to have to leave things off for today. So I think it's time to end the stream. Cut to credits. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you here in the Skype conversation. We have our good friends from Ranger Vision. We have our good friend from Orange Ranger Videos. We've got Maddie J, and of course, Jen Nguyen. Assuming I'm pronouncing it properly this time because I'm very tired. Nguyen?
You're gonna fall asleep on camera, dude.
Thank you for all of your contributions. And everyone else in the chat. Athena, El Nero Diablo, Spencer, Sheree, Sean, so many people. Thank you to all of you. And until next time, which is going to be tomorrow morning. I'm coming back tomorrow for day 3. Until then, farewell, Ranger fans. And let the power protect you.
Power protect you.
May the power protect you.
Sorry about today.
Nah.
I mean, he was so young. My folks didn't tell me the news till I got home from work. Oh, yeah, so police are still investigating what happened. Was it an accident or, the other way?
I'm so sorry to hear that, Jen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you get some resolution on that and are able to find some peace on that.
Hopefully, because I don't know if I'm able to sleep tonight.
I mean, I can tell you that if you need something to help you tire yourself out, 14 hours of Power Rangers seems to do the trick.
I am not going to 14 hours.
Maybe some warm milk might be more suitable. Alright.
You can always binge watch something.
I'm gonna cut this. Here we go.